So living and performing in the UK to living in America, how does poetry compare in the two different countries?
I think poetry in America is greatly influenced by politics, by class divisions, wealth divisions, and all these different factors like social situations. So I think that makes the poetry a lot more representative of the passion in youth culture, especially. Whereas poetry in England, in the United Kingdom, I think is greatly influenced by humor. For example, if you go to a slam in the United States, it'll probably be something that someone will perform something to do with slavery, segregation, and that kind of stuff. If you go to a slam here, they might do something, something humorous, because the audiences in the United Kingdom, I know they like humor a lot.
Yeah. So what?
After losing its fruit, said, "This is how love dances when wined. Look how 3 a.m. pimps the clock and waits for 4 to bring its birds, singing as if washing dishes. This is tsunami, not blues but rap, and present the shore uninhabited with coral. In all fours, jazz, our lungs now ceremonial trumpets, to the silence, breaking for breath."
In terms of your experience of poetry in America and experience of poetry over here, what would you say you enjoy more?
Well, I would have to say I probably enjoy the scene in the US more.
Yeah.
Simply because it seems that, like this is their life. When they go out there, they're really like laying out their whole life stories out there. It's very honest. It's like, this is my life. I've been raped. I've gone through this. I've gone through that. And they're allowing themselves to be vulnerable on stage, which obviously people in the United Kingdom do, but I think it happens more over there.
Would you say poetry between the different cities in America varies, or is it all kind of the same sort of vibe?
I guess I can only really speak for Atlanta, where I live now. I haven't really done a lot of poetry elsewhere, but as far as I can see, like online, I think it's just across the United States that there's just this strong voice coming out of a lot of people there.
So would you say there's any similarities between the poetry scene in London and the poetry scene in Atlanta?
Yeah, there is. There's like just the lyricism and the imagery. There's almost like doubles of each poet that I know in the United Kingdom, in Atlanta.
Okay.
There's similar people across the world, and also the community feel of poetry.
Yeah.
There's a community in both places.
So how has poetry in the UK and poetry in the US influenced you?
I think poetry in the UK has allowed me to take it lightly. Not lightly in a bad way, but to enjoy it. When you go to certain poetry events out here, it turns into a party afterwards. You socialize, you just have fun.
Yeah.
Whereas the US has given me the opposite effect. It's made me take it seriously, made me think of it with a business mind and stuff. So I now have the balance of the both.
I learn astronomy from your pupil's brain, and only dark matter, the whole is my reflection. My shards, your tears, this light spectrum. I hold the sharp end in the epicenter of my palm, lining the edges with the guidelines of lifelines. I hide the metal.
In terms of your biggest influences from America and your biggest influence from England, who would you say they are?
I think here, one of my biggest influences is Joelle Taylor.
Yeah, okay.
She runs Slambassadors UK out here, and she works for the Poetry Society. And she was the first person to really believe in my poetry.
Yeah.
And I just think she's like one of the best poets that I've ever heard, really.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, in the US, I would say that one of my biggest influences is Saul Williams.
Yeah.
I think he's incredible. He's just on another level. He's like on a high power kind of level. I don't even know how he does it, so he's one of my biggest influences.
So in terms of like in your peer group, who would you say has influenced you and that you really enjoy?
In the UK, I would say Nathaniel Nye. He's in my collective actually, Elephant with the Roundhouse.
Okay.
And yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he is.
And he has like a lot of political poems, but he also has love poems. He has all these different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's fearless, and he can say a poem for like 10 minutes straight. He doesn't care. He can just go on forever.
True. And in terms of like when it comes to your ambitions as a poet, what do you want to achieve?
I want to change people's mindsets on a lot of things.
Yeah.
I want to be able to influence change in my community just through my voice. And by the time I'm finished, I don't want to just be called a poet. I want to know that, you know, I've used my writing for many other things other than just poetry. I want it to be confusing and ambiguous by the time I'm finished.
Want to leave a legacy?
Definitely.
Okay.
But I'm not going to try and force it though. It's going to happen naturally.
Best way.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.